Oh, do you think he's
including
queer-coded? He's meant to be queer-coded, this
yes.
guy,
Oh my God, yes.
not that prissy drivel about Greek boys mincing about.
I wonder what that's coded as. That optometrist would not have been able to put that together in an hour for her. This is not lens crafters, Mrs. Fletcher.
Just a little
Yeah,
sleazy.
very sleazy. Okay, fair. A medium amount of sleazy.
On the scale of sleaze. And she's just hanging out with the smokiest of eyes and so much blush.
She's a flex. Tiffany Harrow is the one for me.
Come on, let's go! Oh, stop it. Tonight on Murder, She Wrote.
Hey,
Hooray! I am
that's
Victor Devon,
right. I'm petrified.
and this
And
is
this is Tonight
Tonight
on
on
Murder,
Murder,
She
She
Wrote.
Wrote. There
I'm
we
just gonna
go.
assume that was in sync.
We're just gonna,
Yeah, yeah.
wish for the best. Where are we at?
Delay, schmalay, we don't care.
This is Footnote to Murder, which
Hmm.
is a fun one. This is a fun one.
I enjoy it.
Uh,
Yeah, great characters in this one.
it's it has some levity. It has some drama.
Hmm.
It shows Jessica being a successful writer as she's up for an award,
Hmm.
and those are always interesting because we do often straddle the line of whether or not Jessica's mainstream famous. Because
Hmm.
a lot of times, just like, who are you? Oh, that's who you are.
Her writer colleagues are not very kind to her though. They
No,
are
and I
no one
guess,
really, I mean, it's kind of nice to see her take sort of a back seat as far as the fame card in like a community of writers, right? So she's more
yeah.
a fly on the wall, which is kind of cool.
Well,
But they are not nice people.
she's always had a pretty healthy ego when it comes
Yeah.
to how famous she is. She's never wanted to be a public figure. Like that
Hmm.
comes up a lot where she
Yeah.
wants her right to privacy and until she doesn't,
Yeah.
basically.
Until she wants to be the center of attention.
Mm, or get access to something.
Yeah.
But yeah. But
So we're
this is
setting up that we're in New York right now.
we're in New York. This is one
Yeah.
of the early New York episodes before she
Hmm.
eventually moves there.
I
And we're
love
at
this sort of dreamy 80s perspective on New York City.
this noir,
It's
neo-noir
it's very
90s
cool.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wait, what was the name of the diner? Let me see. It's the Lexington
Lexington
Avenue
Ave
Diner.
Diner.
That's
That's a
that's
real
real.
place. Yeah.
I believe it
I mean,
is.
this is
Yeah.
obviously not it directly, but they didn't film on site. But
Did you
that's
check?
cute. I mean, I don't think so. That's not what it looks like.
Maybe.
Have
I
you
don't
been?
know. It says I know, but it also, I mean, this is 1985, so
True.
but it looks like Central, the hotel is it was filmed in New York, but everything else
Hmm.
was filmed in California. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, and the courthouse for the office exteriors. A lot of exteriors. But we get this misdirection with this guy sitting
Uh-huh.
sort of morosely at a diner, and he pulls out this tiny little gun, but it's a lighter. And
This is
Jessica's opening
Horace
line is, "You're gonna kill yourself." But she means, of course, the
with the
cigarettes.
cigarettes. Uh-huh. This is her buddy Horace Lynchfield, who's a poet. So she's in town for these writing awards, right?
Yeah, he's up for poetry. She's up for
Hmm.
mystery.
That's right. He
So
is a
this is,
delight in this episode, by the way.
he's
I enjoy
bonkers.
him so much.
Are you a
What a
watcher
great
of Palm
Grady.
Royale, the
I did
TV
see
show
Palm
Palm Royale?
Royale. Yeah.
He's in it, and
What's his role?
he's Axel. He's Axel
Axel.
Rosenhips. As
Axel
not a watcher
Rosenhips.
of the show, I don't know how important he is, but he's in at least 4 episodes.
Interesting. I'm sure if I rewatched knowing this, I would recall, but
He
must
had
not have been
a
a huge role.
he had a healthy guest starring career in everything from Who's the Boss to Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So,
He's very
uh,
much one of those like TV personality faces, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, we get this
Anyway.
look of the umbrella, his very
Uh-huh.
intentionally etched umbrella handle,
Yeah.
which is important.
Apparently he likes antiques and old shit. Good for him. We like a sensitive
Well,
guy.
this is a case of multiple missing umbrellas, so that does lead us to important places.
Right.
Uh, and we have this dreary, gigantic New York apartment. Gigantic New York
Honestly,
apartment. Where this sort
would
of
live here in a second. This looks great.
yeah, this sort of blue collar. I mean, it's clearly meant to look like a one bedroom, but this is yeah. Uh the blue collar gentleman drinking milk right out of the carton like an animal. And he sees a newspaper. We love a fake newspaper on Murder, She Wrote.
What does it
And the
say?
headline is da-da-da, Gotham Book Awards. Reception this evening to honor da-da-da-da, Hemsley
Hemsley
Post,
Post. That big picture of Hemsley.
Master of Ceremonies, played by
Hmm.
the delightful Kenneth Mars, who you
Oh my
might know from
gosh.
The Producers, Young Frankenstein, What's Up, Doc, The Land Before Time, Little
Hmm.
Like
He was
he's
Triton, King Triton.
yeah,
He's
that's
made a
how
sweet
I
career doing
that's how
voiceover
I've always
work.
thought of him. Yeah. Ariel. Yeah. Great voice.
Ooh,
Great
and
voice.
Tiff. We just found him in his hotel room. Uh, and Tiffany Harrow has come in. Tiffany, okay,
Look at
this
this.
is
This
Morgan Brittany.
necklace.
She is so good in this episode. I love her. She is leaning right
This
into the trope.
oof. The sweater with nothing underneath it blouse
Hmm.
situation. My goodness.
She's
With
very
pearls.
sexy. She's
And we have
definitely wearing a
immediately established
negligee.
Hemsley. Yes. We immediately established Hemsley as kind of a lush, kind of a
Womanizer,
yeah,
cad. He's not really a cad. He's
opportunist.
not he's not handsome enough.
Sleazy. Just a little
Yeah,
sleazy.
very sleazy. Okay, fair. A medium amount of sleazy.
On the scale of sleaze. But he has a manuscript with him
Hmm.
that Tiffany, right? Her name is Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Has
Tiffany Harrow,
she's
yes.
with the awards committee, but she's looking to get into publishing, and
Hmm.
she wants to be the one to sort of get his new big hit because he hasn't had a hit in a while. But it's
Hmm.
the definitive novel on the Vietnam War,
Yes.
which sounds exhausting.
Yes, it does. Um, I don't want to read this book. I don't know why
No,
everybody's making such a big deal about it. It sounds terrible.
I know. Well, this was, I mean,
Depressing.
the 80s, we would have still had a little bit, I guess, of that sort of era of sort
Hmm.
of the first sort of twinges of maybe the Vietnam War was a mistake for us to America
Yeah,
to get involved in.
it still felt like directly impactful to modern culture. Oh my.
I
Madame
love her.
Medusa shows up.
So freaking great. We have Alexis Post played by Diana Muldaur, I believe her name is.
Hmm.
Who
Mulder.
for
Yeah.
me, I always think of her as one of the doctors on Star Trek, The Next Generation, before she
Oh,
was
big fan.
replaced by Beverly Crusher. Yeah. Um,
She's also known
but she's
for
also
a
got a
law.
huge career. Yes, La La. She was. Is she the one who falls down the elevator shaft
Oh
famously?
goodness, I have no idea. Maybe.
I believe she
I want to watch
is.
it though, now that you
I'll
say.
double check it. It's like one of those famous uh ending of an episode where they're just talking, the elevator opens, and then she just falls down the shaft, and it
Hmm.
ends that way. It was
Love
their
it.
way of, I guess, writing her out. Let me just
I
double
love
confirm
it.
that that's her before I
They're like, she's making too much money. We have budget issues. Get her out of here. Okay, she's great in this episode, but oh, her hair is so ugly.
It's the era.
Oh my gosh, it's like everybody looks like a poodle in this episode. All the women look like poodles.
Rosalind Shays. That's our act. No, different actors. Oh, never mind. Take that out. Damn it. Who's Rosalind? Rosalind Shays has a relationship to uh she's styled very similarly. Never mind.
Hmm. So essentially, the ex-wife showed up while he was trying to, flirt with Tiffany Harrow, who
Uh
then swiftly exited. She's like, "Oh, I gotta get out of this awkward situation." And then the wife says, "You owe me money, bitch. You have an advance for this Vietnam book. You're gonna give me some of it."
all right, I'll save it. So Rosalind Shays character in Murder She Wrote does not appear for some time, but I knew she was in somewhere.
Oh.
Well, in any event, uh, we're meeting some more characters in the
Yes.
literary world. This, oh, do you think he's
Including,
queer coded? He's meant to be queer coded, this
yes.
guy.
Oh my God, yes.
This
Absolutely.
red, uh,
Robert Reed playing just a delicious Adrian Winslow in this episode. Gay
it's
as a picnic
so
basket.
as a picnic basket. Many
He's
folks will know him as Mike Brady, who was famously a homosexual.
uh-huh,
Well, the actor, not the character, presumably.
hmm.
Um,
You think?
there's discussion. There is discussion, but he also,
I
I
kind
want
of
to
love that.
say, he died of complications from AIDS. So he
He
was one
did.
of our early '90s
Hmm.
losses in that.
What a presence too.
Yeah,
What an
playing
impact on
totally against
culture.
type.
Yeah.
Such a different
Even
type
just
here.
parodying him. Yeah. Oh, I know. It's great. It probably was deliciously fun for him. He looks like he's having fun.
He appears in 3 episodes of Murder, She Wrote
Hmm.
total as 3 different characters
There's the Safe
and
House episode, totally different
sinks his teeth
character.
in every time.
Yeah, he's great.
So our blue collar gentleman drinking straight out of the milk carton has confronted Hemsley in the
In a
bathroom,
bathroom.
saying he
This is where
stole
danger
his
happens.
work. Yes. So
That security
Hemsley,
guard
in
was
theory,
pretty useless.
stole. I know he stole his manuscript, basically.
Yeah,
So it is
yeah.
in fact the blue collar worker who
Hmm.
wrote the definitive novel on the
How'd
Vietnam
they know
War.
each other? They did. How did they go to
He was
Vietnam
a
together?
no Post was a teacher, and he stole his.
I was a teacher.
Yeah, he
Ah, what
stole
a
like he did
dick.
like a class. This happens a
Jesus.
lot in these shows
Yeah.
where uh, um, there's that episode in the
Corrupt
future where
teachers.
the music professor steals the music of his student,
Hmm.
that kind of thing.
That's a fun one.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that one.
So
Um, we
Frank
meet
Lipinski is our true auteur who wants revenge for
indeed.
Post stealing his novel.
And then we have this cute little sprite, Debbie Delancey.
Abby
I
Delancey,
love the name.
played by Talia Balsam. That's also a great name.
Hmm. Who has had quite a career as well, I think.
Yeah, but these
Yeah.
glasses are of the era.
Okay, honestly, when you see them, you understand that they're important somehow.
Yes.
Even though, because it's such a choice to give this little itty bitty lady these giant bug-eyed grandma glasses, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Notably, this actress Talia is married to John Slattery, who is the sexy older gentleman on Mad Men. She also
Ooh.
appeared on Mad Men, so
Ah.
good for her.
Oh, we're at this reception, this party. So all these people who are nominated are hanging out, including Robert Reed as Adrian Winslow. And we meet another one, Lucinda Lark. Oh my God. I feel like
A
we're
lot of
playing one of those
characters.
take-home murder mystery dinners with these character
Yeah.
names. They're so
Yes.
great. This is one of those box from Kmart.
It leans, these sort of tropes of
Uh-huh.
like it might as well be Mrs. Peacock. Like let's
Uh-huh.
like,
Tiffany Harrow,
but
Debbie
Lucinda
Delancey, Lucinda
Lucinda
Lark.
basically wrote like the equivalent of like 50 Shades of Grey or Lady Chatterley's Lover. She wrote some smut
Hmm.
that's doing very well
Yeah.
right now.
And people are enjoying it
It is, but her peers are
because,
also kind of addicted.
yeah. But she kind of doesn't care.
Oh
She's just
no,
raking
she's
it
raking
in,
in the money.
happy as can be. Good for her. Okay.
So we're at the party, everyone's schmoozing, sort of being
Hmm.
snarky to bitchy. This is a
Everybody's
bitchy
being mean
party.
to each other. Yeah. Nobody
Yeah.
is anybody's friend here.
Not that prissy drivel about Greek boys mincing about.
I wonder what that's coded as. Oh God. He looks fantastic though. Hemsley Post does not. He looks a mess.
No, and
But
he's styled to be pretty schlubby. Like he's one
yeah.
of those people who looks like he's in a permanently wrinkled suit, like that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Hmm.
He gave him a good
Basically,
thrashing 10 years ago.
also hot. Wow, this episode's hot. Didn't remember this way. Wow. That red scarf around Robert Reed, they're not really talking about anything, just sort of being generally nasty and giving us some backstory on these people.
We're establishing that people don't really care for
Yeah,
Post, which
yeah,
is
he's
important to know
unpleasant.
because everyone has to be a suspect.
Yeah,
Oh, because someone's going to die.
uh-huh. Everybody gets into some sort of moment with him. I like this. I actually, when I started rewatching this the other night, I had forgotten that I'd seen it before, and I was like, "Did I find a Murder She Wrote that I haven't seen yet?" Of course, then I realized what it was, but it was so delicious and such. I keep saying delicious. I must be hungry, but it was such a treat because it really is one of the. It, it feels like one of the Agatha Christie sort of stories, right? With these
Mm,
characters and um these yummy little names that they all have. Okay, now they're
yeah.
fighting. Everybody has a motive. They're all different.
It's
They're women and men here, and they're all interesting. So I'm totally here for it.
you know what? This does give me Clue vibes. It really
Yes,
does. And
very
like
Clue. Yeah.
this party scene right here, everyone's like the punch, it might as well have been Colonel Mustard punching Mr. Body.
Hmm.
Like it's all
Totally.
or vice versa, actually.
Literally,
Uh
literally throwing punches here.
all right.
Next
It's now
morning,
the next morning. Someone didn't survive the night.
of course, Jessica's
Jessica's
up bright and early, like a nerd.
heading to Post's hotel room
Mhm.
for
Simply to
reasons
get
for
her umbrella back.
yeah. So at the party, evidently there was an umbrella switch. It's sort of like their variation on like people having a similar suitcase
Hmm.
and one of them picking up the wrong one or the wrong backpack.
Hmm.
This is their variant on that because there are about 3 to 4 umbrellas that are in the mix here.
They're kind of lazily strewn about in this story. Sort of significant.
And we meet our assistant DA,
Uh-huh.
Mel Comstock, aka Pat Harrington, aka Shlomo Ziegler from the Golden Girls.
Yes. John
Famously,
Patrick Anderson is a regular guy.
the freeway flasher. He is one of Rose's terrible dates from a specific episode where the
Great
girls
episode.
compare notes on dates. He's looking very trim and very styled, right? Like he's
I
looking like
know. He's also in
we see him in
One Day at
other
a Time.
we see him in other Murder She Wrote episodes, and he's kind of much more casual and kind of a mess. He plays
Hmm.
an author friend of Jessica's later. He also
Hmm.
plays sort of like a Hollywood producer who's kind of
Hmm.
sleazy as well. But this is so like 3-piece suit. Shlomo is
He looks
he's
like
so
a funeral
distinguished.
director, doesn't he?
Mr. Pfeiffer right here.
Uh-huh. Oh, and did you catch the lieutenant in the back? It's Ron Masak.
What? How is that possible? Yes, season 1, famous for actors who will eventually come back in major
Hmm.
roles later.
Hmm.
We have Ron Masak, aka Lieutenant Meyer,
Hmm.
aka Sheriff Metzger from what, season 4 on, I want to say.
It's late. It's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I think it
after
is
Amos
4. Yeah,
leaves
Amos is in for 2 or 3 seasons.
for quite a few.
Yeah.
But he is, in fact,
He's
not
cool in
Amos's
this
immediate
episode.
replacement, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But he appears in multiple New York. He appears in another episode before he becomes the sheriff of Cabot Cove as a
Does
different
he?
character again. Yeah, he works in he's part of the an episode, a Grady episode,
Uh,
Neptune Ventures, and he's like a owner of a electronics store. And again, a New York episode. He's a New York cop who
hmm.
becomes the sheriff. So that must be like
Hmm.
important. Like he must be like their idea of a quintessential New Yorker, even though
Oh,
the actor was
absolutely.
born in Chicago. But
He's got the vibe. He's
yeah,
got the
yeah,
vibe.
sure. Oh, we should
Oh, there it
say
is.
we should say
Where
that
Jessica went, okay, Jessica went to get her umbrella, and it turns out that Post is dead, and the detective and the lieutenant are there, and Post has been stabbed with an umbrella. and it
Well, the
is,
sword within the
yeah,
umbrella.
which was a part of, because that was a thing, I guess.
It was like
Umbrellas with
canes with
swords.
swords. Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like a novelty to me, but yes.
But
Um,
it bears to reason because we already saw that this guy, the poet,
mhm,
liked his little gun lighter thing, so he
yeah.
was already a fan of sort of these dramatic accoutrements.
Hmm. Jessica has
But
found a pair of glasses in the bed, and there's lipstick on the sheets.
oh dear,
And so the DA here, he don't give two shits. He wants to make the news. He's trying to advance his own political career. He's totally frustrating. Also, he's an energetic man. Can we just say that?
yes, yes.
He's intense. I would not want to go to a party with this guy.
But so Horace is implicated because that is his umbrella sword,
Hmm.
as by the recognizable handle that we saw earlier in the diner
Hmm.
with that specifically carved handle.
Very noir.
Can't anybody have just a normal duck handle?
Mm. He's also they really focus on him putting those glasses in her bag, just letting us know that we know we've seen these glasses already. We know that Debbie Delancey was there. I'm not going to pretend that we didn't. Everybody watching this knew, right?
Oh,
Right.
I mean, eventually, if not at that very exact moment. But yeah, we're getting there. We're
Those
getting there.
glasses are so distinct.
Very distinct,
Yeah.
and yet everywhere at the time. So we've picked up Horace, and of course Jessica is there because Jessica has to be there, even though
Of
she
course,
has no authority and
because it's her friend.
her friend.
Yeah.
That again, she's I guess just met through parties like this.
I think so, just as an author.
Yeah.
Although she don't hang out with anybody too long, it seems. Which is probably good for
No, but
them.
this is another one where it's not a relative. So we had a Paint Me a Murder where she knew
Hmm.
Cesar Romero's character
Hmm.
somehow through society. And this is another example of her sort of getting outside of Cabot Cove,
Hmm.
which is so insular and she found so limiting. So that's one reason that she, expanded her life to include writing and becoming a essentially a public figure. But this is
Yeah.
one of those examples of like, no, she's actually like branching out into the world.
Hmm. This is why Claude Akins had to go.
This is all right. Now we have person of interest,
Uh-huh.
Tiffany
Tiffany
Harrow.
Harrow. I love Tiffany. I just love Tiffany Harrow. I love that she has kind of this bad girl read at first and then turns out to be just like a sweet, hard-working gal trying her best. But
She gives me like a softer Donna Mills, a softer Susan Lucci. Like
oh
she's
yeah. There's a
yeah.
Susan Lucci quality about her, yeah.
Fun
She's much more
fact,
delicate and petite.
she was Baby June in the original 1962 film version of Gypsy.
Yes, she was. She was
Yeah.
also one of the daughters in one of my favorites, Yours, Mine, and Ours, starring Lucille Ball and Fonda.
There were multiple Lansbury connections there.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Um,
so she was a regular on Dallas. But who wasn't?
who wasn't? She has the Dallas look, that big, big brunette hair
Yeah.
looking like a
Yeah,
poodle.
it's a good one. A
She's
good
looking like
one.
a good poodle. The ex-wife is not looking like a good poodle. The ex-wife looks like a
It's
tired old poodle.
Yeah, and that's just like that's just the style. Because if you look at other photos of that actress with her straightened hair, she looks perfectly fine.
She's lovely, yeah.
But she has that same hair in Star Trek too,
Hmm.
because Generation would it was 88, so not that much later. But you know what it is? It's that like
It's
all the
very
tennis
Sherry
players had that hair
Lewis-ish.
in the 80s.
Yes. It was a look. I mean, people make those choices every day. Okay.
All right.
So
And then Melvin
they're putting
Comstock
Horace away. Yeah.
he immediately calls the newspaper to give them their
Uh-huh.
story.
Wait, what did Tiffany come in to say that she was at dinner with Adrian Winslow?
Post. Oh
Right.
yes, yes. And
Um,
but was at Post's apartment beforehand,
mhm.
and that must be
When the wife
when
showed up. Yeah.
yeah. But the question remains, did she come back later and stab him because he got fresh, perhaps?
Yeah. This is such a weird little mix up in the hallway scene with Horace. I was like,
It's fun
what's
though.
happening? It is fun.
So he gets into
Horace
the elevator, and then all these other people cram in, and Ron Masak is very distracted, and Horace gets away in the elevator.
so stupid.
I know. And
We
that's
gotta fill some
officially
time.
resisting arrest. That's
Hmm.
fleeing the scene. That's
Hmm.
that's actually several crimes and
And then he
misdemeanors
gets sort
right
of
there.
well, he's a good guy. He's like, I'm not free to go. I this is not where I'm supposed to be. And some guys just pick him up
He
in this
gets
line of hookers. Is that the idea?
no, they're jury people.
Oh,
He's
they're
or
jurors.
I think they're up for jury, and he gets like ushered in to
No, I think
or
it's
maybe
hookers.
oh, they
The
think he's a
girls.
John.
Yeah.
These are because
And
immediately one of the
they
women
let
starts flirting with him.
uh-huh wearing a
Oh, that's
hideous
funny.
leopard blouse covered in
So
a
they were
ugly brown jacket. Ew.
they mistake him for a bust.
And then he's
Also, did you
just
notice
free to go.
this lady, the sex worker?
Uh-huh.
She has this incongruous hat coat situation. Her red pumps and leg warmers. Come
Uh-huh.
on.
That's how you
Come
know she's a hooker.
on. Yeah.
Too good. It's fun. This is
And
a fun episode.
the judge has cleared the Johns and is only interviewing the sex workers. Isn't that always the way?
Oh my God. It actually made me mad when I watched it. I was like, you son of a bitch. Also, they could have held on to Horace a little longer.
But he was free to leave, so he's no longer in the municipal building, so they've lost their person of interest, and he is
Hmm.
officially uh, on the lam, I guess. Are you on the lam if you've not been charged officially, if you've not been
I mean, the
processed?
circumstances, he has a good argument, but I guess so. And Jessica is in confession here. What's going on? Where is she?
She's in one of those phone booths where
Oh
you
my
sit.
God. One of those things.
It's
Oh, and
those
she sees
hotel lobby,
Tiffany. She sees Tiffany crying into a pink silk handkerchief. Jeez.
and naturally, and this utterly hideous, shapeless purse.
I know.
She had such
Also,
style.
that color, ew, no thanks.
No, it's just not. It's not working.
Mm-mm. It's
And
like a
Tiffany, you were doing so great. We were rooting for you.
it's like a pale blue, but like a dirty pale blue. Not for me.
Slush.
That's
Dirty
it.
snow, dirty New York snow.
Yuck.
So we've confirmed that she went to his room before the cocktail party, which
Hmm.
again, we as folks knew, but Jessica needs to know that.
Yeah.
And she tells her about Alexis being there, the wife,
Hmm.
because Jessica now has to get involved with finding out if she is a suspect.
Yeah. Lay
Which, I
him
mean,
out, girl.
again,
Help us out.
isn't
She's
that
taking
police
notes.
procedure always assume it's the spouse until proven otherwise? Isn't that
Is it really?
generally
Is that a thing?
often? I mean, it's very
I mean,
often the
it's
spouse.
generally a go. I mean,
I
when
mean, for one thing, you ever watch Snapped? It's always the boyfriend. It's
oh my
always
God,
yeah.
absolutely every time.
All right, this is a little bit nicer of a look for Alexis. I know the hair. I know the hair isn't
This
working for you.
works,
It's
but it's
very
better.
Barbara
It's better here.
Streisand. A Star
It's
is
like
Born.
pulled back on the sides or something. It looks cuter in this
Yes,
scene. She also looks, she doesn't look like a fashion designer, but this scene, okay,
she
did we
looks more like
mention
a
that she's
wardrobe
a fashion
mistress.
designer? Yeah.
She looks like she's on like a wardrobe mistress at like
Hmm.
a Hollywood picture.
She's more
She's
like a stylist or something, like a style. Yeah. But she's just walking by these. I wish this is what design studios look like.
But the reason she had come to the hotel room in the first place is because Post owed her money,
Yeah.
essentially a whole lot of money that she had loaned him over the years, which I don't know how that works as spouses. If it's considered a loan, frankly, I believe it's probably considered community property. But she argues that he should have paid her back.
Hmm.
And now that he's dead, well, it's unlikely that anyone will collect except her because they were still married.
Lucky her.
Hmm. But that also, of course, puts the target on her back as motivator because she
Sure.
wasn't going to get her money otherwise. And she wouldn't have gotten that money otherwise if he had been actually exposed for stealing that novel.
Mm. Yeah, that's
Oh,
not
which
good for
we
her.
haven't gotten there yet, but
Yeah,
I
but
mean we know the
still
novel is stolen, but Jessica doesn't know
important.
yet. A
Important.
little bit more
Another
farce here in the the
some
spinning
physical
doors,
comedy. Well, and then they just Jessica and Horace get like trapped in this like spinning door little moment,
revolving door.
but then
Yeah,
they stand in front of the revolving
yeah,
door while other people are
I know.
trying to get out. And I'm like, Jessica,
That's
you know
that's
better.
real. No, but
Move
that's
out of the
real.
way, girl.
People do that, and it drives me crazy. People
It's
walk into department
maddening.
stores and just stand there and survey their like, okay.
Ooh,
All
now we're
right,
in the DA's
Lucinda
office with Lucinda Lark.
is being uh discussed with.
Look at that headshot on that book.
And basically it's all just a ruse so that the ADA can get her to sign his book.
She looks great. Happy as
She's
can
pretty
be.
great.
Wish she had a little bit
Constance
more
Forslund. Yeah,
this episode. She's a
she's
little
sort of
underused.
real quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe because her book was salacious, they didn't want to get into it, but I wanted to know.
I know. Yeah, I think she's really meant to be like the Jackie Collins
Totally.
smut peddler. And
Hmm.
she is also here to indicate that it couldn't possibly have been Horace because
Hmm.
Lucinda was with
Spent the
him.
night with him.
And Horace, of
Oh,
course, has no memory of this.
because he drinks too much, folks. Horace drinks too much.
Yeah, he has a lot of vices.
Hmm.
He smokes too much, he drinks too much, and he goes to bed with questionable women. But he's very lucky in this case he went to bed with that questionable woman because she bailed him
Because she
out.
bailed him out. She was the alibi, baby. Maybe she made it up. Who knows? I can't even remember what happens with that or with her. I think we've seen the last of Lucinda.
I think that's it. She's
Yeah,
just there so that we can watch Horace
such a
no
bummer.
longer be a suspect so we can
Yeah.
get to the rest of it. I'd be very
Hmm.
curious. So that actress who plays Lucinda is Constance Forslund. She did a TV movie where she plays Marilyn Monroe, and I would love to see that.
Oh, interesting. I looked at her
Yeah.
IMDb and I couldn't really find anything that felt she was a flight attendant in the movie Clock Watchers from 1997. That's kind of a fun movie.
So if you can find this
This is what
year's
we're
Blonde
doing.
from 1980, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
Here's
Well, she
Blonde.
was also she was in The Way We Were, and she was in Village of the Damned, so she has like mainstream credits. But
Hmm. She's
all right, we're at
this is a long list. She's working. Good for her. La La Boat
now we're at the loading dock of
in
a
Brooklyn. We're in Brooklyn now.
looks like I think a grocery store. I think he's unloading like fruit or something.
Hmm.
And Jessica's finding out that indeed he wrote the book about the Vietnam War. It was
Hmm.
his idea. The
Yeah.
Vietnam War was his idea. Uh,
Lock him up.
um, but yes, so Frank Lipinski
Yeah.
is
She's digging in. She's trying to figure him out, and he is pretty dismissive. And so she starts digging in with his coworkers, planting seeds. Oh, he's so smart. Yeah.
and this is when we have
He's a
find out that
writer.
in
She makes
fact
the
he wrote that book. Yep.
yeah.
It's all coming together.
And she, of course, is just feeding information about the Horace Post book. And all the clues seem to be falling into place.
Hemsley Post.
What
Horace
did I
is
say?
the
Horace.
you said Horace Post. It's all right. There are too many H's.
There's a I, I forgot a character name. Me.
Yes. Uh, oh, so according to IMDb, and again, we take it with many grains of salt, Post is inspired potentially by famed author writer Norman Mailer and Adrian Winslow, our Robert Reed
Hmm.
homosexual, might be in fact
Hmm.
Gore Vidal, and that does make a lot of sense.
So maybe what what they did with this episode, having like someone playing each part, they did it with the sports episode, and it was accurate, and we just don't know.
We know what it is. We didn't care. That was, I
No, we
think, part
didn't
of the
care.
problem.
Oh, I love this, by the way.
Heracles,
We're at
Parnassus.
Adrian Winslow's book signing, and he looks
No
pissed to
one's
be
there
there,
to.
frankly. Yeah.
Uh, he's in front of the magazines. Oh, I do
What is
remember when bookstores used to look like this. Wow. Yeah.
Look at the flexed muscle mags behind him.
So great.
Is that an
So
accident?
great. I think it might be just a nod. Somebody's in charge of set dressing.
Somebody knew what they were doing here, and I
Mincing Greek
appreciate it.
boys.
Yeah. This is when he's essentially Winslow is just he's just a gossip.
Look at his
He's
headshot.
spilling all the
Look, he
tea.
has he
I know.
has Diana's hair. Like he has the same
That's
poodle
that Mike
hair.
Brady hair. Yeah. They all went to the same dog groomer for this episode. It's
I wonder
crazy.
if they doctored an old headshot of him and just added the mustache because
Oh,
they
I
were like, "Oh,
bet.
this character has a mustache."
Did he have a mustache when he was playing Mike Brady at any
No, he
point?
was clean
He didn't,
shaven,
right?
clean shaven.
Mm.
Yeah,
Robert
he
Reed is
was the.
very, he really could lean into sort of the Vincent Price quality, couldn't he?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would have loved to see
I
him
mean,
in
he
a
sort of has
different
this
time.
affectation.
Yeah.
Like this, I'm trying to remember what he did before. I mean, obviously Brady Bunch sort of pigeonholed him, but I don't know what he
Hmm.
did really before then. Um, because he would have been, just another working actor before he hit
Yeah.
this huge hit.
Right. He looks like he was in a lot of TV.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, he
but
was in
these
Star.
the boy in the plastic bubble, Nightmare in Badham County,
He
Lanigan's
was
Rabbi.
in,
These sound like serious TV.
I
Like,
know, yeah,
yeah.
Journey into Darkness. But he was in Star with Julie Andrews, which is a
Hmm.
great film. Which is a great, great film from 1968. Oh, we got Debbie Delancey back.
Wearing different glasses,
Different
but still
glasses.
old, those big old fucking grandma frames.
Yeah, yeah. Very you know what she reminds me of the character Andrea from Beverly Hills
Oh
90210.
my God, she looks like her. Oh, you're right.
Also, this look at this shading right here. She is blue on blue on blue on blue on
Uh-huh.
blue. But
Tiffany's a
we're at
blue
Tiffany
girl.
Harrow's hotel
I
room
think it's her hotel, yeah,
apartment.
which is not the same building that Hemsley was in.
I love that she brought a bathrobe that matches the decor though.
How
'Cause she would have had to bring
convenient.
that from home. Maybe it was provided from the.
Maybe it's
Well,
one of
actually,
those.
that
Wow, this is a lot of. Oh, this is that dusty blue in the 80s.
the dusty cornflower.
Oh gosh, that's it. Looks great
And we
on her
find
hair
out,
though. That sort of red brunette.
and she's just hanging out with the smokiest of eyes,
Hmm.
just and so much blush.
She's a flex. Tiffany Harrow is the one for me.
Perhaps
This is
we've
when
not
she
been
finally.
so enchanted since the great Ashley Vickers.
I was thinking that. This
Look at those
fuck Ashley
eyes.
Vickers. This is the Tiffany Harrow fan club henceforth.
Ashley, we still love you.
uh,
Uh,
well, anyway,
also
what's happening in this scene?
we're finding
She's
out that
coming
she
clean,
also had
basically.
a missing umbrella
Yeah,
and that she didn't steal the manuscript. The book she was looking at that Jessica walked in on her is like a Hollywood memoir that she
and
wants
she's gonna
to
wants to represent it. She wants to be
write.
the agent or literary
But
manager for
she's
this.
not the thief
Yeah,
of the manuscript.
right.
So it still is looking like it might be Lipinski.
He seemed pretty standoffish told Jess there. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Or at least somebody working on Lipinski's best interests,
Hmm.
as the case may be.
So why does Tiffany look so embarrassed there? It's because she actually did invite
Oh,
Post to come to her. hotel room and he
Yeah,
didn't end up.
Jessica says something. Oh, she went, so
Life of the
she did
fast
do it
lane can be a
home.
little lonely.
Yeah, she, oh, because I guess we're sort of indicating that she's sort of the sad beauty. She
Yeah.
said, I represent myself.
Hmm.
Let me see.
She's trying to grow. She's trying to network, get to know people. She didn't want anything to do with Post's peen. Um,
But the potential that she, oh, because she was going to meet up with Post. That's what it is.
right.
And so she's feeling a little sheepish that, well, he didn't show up. So she took some sleeping pills and went to bed. And Jessica's like,
Hmm.
well, that you were a bit of a hussy, but I guess you
If
had your
anybody else,
reasons.
if anybody else had said that, she'd be like, I don't believe you. Took sleeping pills and went to
Possibly.
bed. You know what I mean? But something about good old honest Tiffany. We're
Well,
back in
because I
Frank.
think she already knows who the likelihood is because she
I
knows those
think so.
glasses. She
Yeah. I
hasn't, she's
mean,
ruling everybody out because she doesn't want it to be her, I
she knew from
think.
the beginning that Debbie Delaney, Debbie
Delancey,
Bueller. It
you
is
just
Delancey.
don't
Okay.
know. You just don't know how much she wishes that were true.
Hmm.
Oh, and Lipinski is on the run.
Oh, did we mention that Post's manuscript for this Vietnam book was in fact missing from his room when he was murdered?
Oh, we may have
I
neglected to
yeah,
indicate that.
details.
It's the Maltese Falcon. It's all good. Like
We came back to it now, and Lipinski has it, and he's trying to run away from the police with it.
we certainly
'Cause-
established that that was the motive.
yeah,
So
this it's like Brooklyn alleyway.
it's like where the alleyway where Jessica got assaulted by
Hmm.
Andy Garcia
Hmm.
in
The
the
white
first
hoods.
episode. Not the white hoods, white tufts. White hoods is something else.
Oh, oh, that made me really uncomfortable. Yeah. Oh, and they found
Oh,
the
and they have the
manuscript.
manuscript.
Yep.
Untitled
And he
novel by
and he
Hemsley
says, "Yep,
Post.
I killed him. I killed him. I did it. It was me."
But it can't be him because it's we still have 8 minutes
We
left.
still have 8 minutes. There's more to come here.
There's got to be
There's
more.
going to be a twist in this story.
And Jessica's going to figure it out because, of course, the ADA is arresting the wrong person
Hmm.
because that's what the cops do in this show.
Which he has done many times this episode
Many
already.
times. Yep, she doesn't believe it. That's the other thing. When somebody confesses, she is instantly suspicious.
Because she is selfish and she needs to be the one to solve it.
Well, she's also right. Oh, we finally get a different scarf from her too, because she was rocking that awesome plaid for a while,
She
and now we
was,
have
she
this
was.
like, I think it's
This
almost
is
like a
more,
paisley. Oh, it's so nice with the chrysanthemums.
it's not, I like it with that top, with that coat she's got on. It's cute. Horace looking, looking a mess.
Or maybe she didn't think about it was Delancey because she's forgotten that she had the glasses.
How could you?
I
They
don't
are a
know.
statement on that little
She was
bird.
so distracted.
Yeah. My grandmother definitely had those glasses. Like throughout the 90s even.
So she has gone all this time thinking that they were Post's glasses.
Hmm.
No, honey, honey, no.
She's gonna go to the optometrist. This is crazy. These are such
Absolutely
great lengths to
bonkers.
go to make a point.
So she goes to the optometrist saying that I think my glasses are the wrong prescription. And they're like, yeah, these aren't yours at all. Because
She just
we
plays dumb.
also, this is another example of Jessica's expendable cash
Uh-huh.
because she's buying new glasses, new lenses. Or
Yeah.
sorry, actually, she's just getting frames. She's not getting new glass. Okay, but still, glasses are expensive now. I can't imagine what they were like in
What
1985.
did they cost? Yeah, I wonder that myself. Also, that optometrist would not have been able to put that together in an hour for her. This is not lens crafters, Mrs. Fletcher. It wouldn't work.
But now she's at lunch with Debbie Delancey, our
Uh-huh.
our young novelist who wanted advice on her short story,
Hmm.
and
And she's
Jessica's
wearing
piecing
these
it
different
together that
glasses.
are the
Oh,
exact
she
same shape as the others.
Jessica's playing a game here. She says, "I'm trying to read the notes that I wrote on this booklet of yours. Can I borrow your glasses?"
You got
Oh, and then she fumbles and she switches them out with the ones that she had made. That, by the way, she just happened to know Debbie's second frame. She was like, "That's the one. Just walk into
That's what
any
it looked like.
optometrist.
Yeah,
That's the same
close
pair of
enough.
glasses. How fucking lucky you are, Miss Fletcher."
Just for this bit, just to
Uh-huh.
hand them to her so
And for
that
her to
she
be
could
like,
then
"Yeah,
read
these are
the
mine."
notes.
Jesus.
And it's all coming together because the story was about her older brother going off to the Vietnam War
Hmm.
and how it was like after he left and their parents had both died.
So they
But we
he did
realize
go to
now,
the war,
no.
yeah.
Yeah, Frank
So
Lipinski
maybe
was in fact.
Post was also had gone to the war,
No,
or
I
what?
think I think Lipinski wrote the story in his class and then Hemsley just took it.
Hmm.
He would have been too old to fight in the Vietnam
Yeah,
War.
yeah, they're not in the same generation for sure.
In theory, it was just a bunch of research.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just
Hmm.
poetic license to sort of get us there.
Yeah. We're getting some flashbacks.
Because of course
She's talking
they
about
don't
the
trust the
glasses
audience. They don't trust the audience to
to
remember that
understand what
she had
happened.
this.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it was the most significant fashion choice in this episode alone. So how could you
And
forget?
of some important fashion choices.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
So
Tiffany.
we are admitting, all
So
right, all
so
along.
Debbie and Frank are siblings.
And she went to Hemsley's hotel room to talk
Have her
about the
story.
novel,
Yeah.
and he got cranky with her, and she killed him in self-defense and took the manuscript and gave it back to Frank.
Because he was trying to like sexually assault her, right?
They indicate that he probably would have been sexually violent.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Again, I
She's
don't know if they quite make him out to be as lecherous as to really make that work,
yeah.
but I think it's sort of like, well, then come back to my hotel room and then we can talk about it.
He seems like he likes the other person to be involved in the flirt, and this is not that. But
Likes the chase.
definitely
Yeah, he's getting fresh.
he wants to do it with good old Debbie, and she fights back.
And, and she does.
Good for her. She
And
shouldn't have
stabs
to.
him with Horace's
He does.
umbrella.
Yeah.
He was like an animal. So again, we're not only is he a thief, but he's also a rapist. So extra
Yeah.
points for killing a bad guy
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
this episode. They really want you to know that she made a bad decision not confessing, but she
Right.
was within
She
her
was in
rights
the
at
right.
protecting herself. Yeah.
She was, yeah, she was self-defense, and she'll probably be just fine. That's the implication, right? She's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
She's not going to do any time. She's not going to have a record because of this. She was just defending herself. Um, and
And
I like that message.
if you get Jessica as your character witness, I think that goes a long way. I wish
Hmm.
we had seen more of that. If we had seen more of Jessica actually, I don't know if we see any specifics. We see the outcomes sometimes, but we never
Yeah.
see her on the stand
No.
talking
She
about
must
any
be
of
there
the
all the time.
all the time. Because she is often the only person who heard the confession or saw something.
She has to go back to all these places.
But
She is a Delta Diamond.
she won her writer's award,
Uh-huh.
as did
Horace
Horace.
won his, and now he wants to drink and smoke. I mean, hey,
Sure.
cool.
What is okay? This is not a great outfit for
No,
Jessica.
this is
It's
very
no.
Dorothy Spornak.
It is a little Charlie Sporting.
Yeah, which is just not, they don't have the same body. Horace and his
No,
stupid
she's Mame, for one
lighter
thing.
gun.
She doesn't have that Vera Charles body. Uh, And as a little ha 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 send off, Horace accidentally scares yet another person with his cigarette lighter
Uh-huh.
that looks like a
A little
gun.
pistol. And there we
Ah,
have it.
there we have it. So the right person died, the right
Hmm.
person got caught and may not even face time. The
Yeah.
book got recovered.
Hmm.
Uh, the floozy is on her way to making her own career. Presumably, the former wife got her money from the
Hmm.
settlement or something, or maybe insurance. Um, and Horace and Jessica won their wars. All's well that in fact ended well.
And Horace does not have to face his drinking problem.
No, no, this is actually one of those episodes. Our husband and we watched another episode recently where it was a kleptomaniac played by the great Brenda Vaccaro,
Oh
and it's
yeah.
like it's another example of like, oh, at the end of the episode she no longer has that affliction, or oh, this person has massive
Right.
PTSD and thinks he killed
Uh-huh.
somebody. Oh, he didn't. Okay, he doesn't have PTSD anymore. Okay, great. I'm really glad you fixed people that easily.
It cleaned up that well. She is the angel of death and a literal angel,
An angel of mercy.
bringing her blessings.
Ah. Oh, I didn't
What
notice
if
in the
what if,
very opening scene that guy is roller skating with an umbrella. That's funny.
it's pretty bold. In the rain. Roller
In the
skating
rain.
is scary. In the rain, it's a death trap. Don't do it,
So,
folks.
folks, as we often say, the episode has looped back, so the opening scenes are starting again.
Hmm.
Ah, and we're back with
She
Horace writing
his
a sonnet.
poetry is awful, by the way.
Yes,
Awful. I know
yes,
it's supposed to be,
yes.
but
He won an
they
award.
really delivered. They really delivered. And Jessica even throws some shade at him, which I guess shows how close they are, even though we've never met him before.
And we'll never see him again. But they're buds. Again, I maybe a missed
They're
opportunity.
buds.
Again, writers don't always think about these things, but he would have been a fun one to maybe return when she lived in New York again.
Oh yeah, totally. Because he seems to be the type of person prone to getting himself into jams. He's
Right?
he's he's the Grady here.
He is. He is the accidental suspect.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Well
that
then,
was uh what was this called? Footnote to Murder,
footnote to murder. Yeah.
which is, I
I
mean, a writer's pun that doesn't actually really make a whole lot of sense here.
no, no. They're like,
Oh,
that's a writing word. Murder. Great. Next. Sudden death.
pass. Uh Oh, we do have a different scarf from her in the opening scene. I forgot about that. I like this dark gray and red situation.
I love the noir that this starts with. It's such a choice. It actually really, um, I've been noticing specifically as I've been watching these to prepare for our recordings, how they really try to create a different genre feel with each episode, depending on the
Hmm.
content, right? And
Hmm.
it it feels like it's getting more intentional as the series
Yeah.
goes on. Like for the first maybe 10 episodes, they all have kind of like the same universal feel. But then we start leaning into these ideas. And this one with like the rainy cafe in New York with someone writing poetry and pulls out a gun, like it's sort of setting the tone for the rest of the episode, right? Because now
Yeah.
that I think about it, the rest of the episode doesn't really have a lot of that noir feeling to it, but I believe it did because of how the episode was set up. I think
Right.
the next
Well,
one
also
happens too.
anytime they're in New York, that saxophone goes like
Ra-ra-ra-ra. Yeah,
yeah.
truly.
Ah.
Uh,
So
Such a
final
product of
thoughts
its.
on Footnote?
I really like this episode, and I think it's because the characters are all fun and interesting. They're funny. Tiffany Harrow is such a sick bitch. Love her. I love her
Ah,
turn. She's complicated, and I appreciate it. Um, I like the noir of it all. Very satisfied that Mr. Post got what he had coming to him because he was just ick, ick, ick. But
yeah.
played
I mean,
so
props to
well.
Kenneth Mars
Yeah.
playing such a sleazebag when he is
Hmm.
really most famous for comedy.
Yeah. And voiceover. like kids
Yeah.
voiceover. So good on him. What
Yeah.
else? What else? What else? I think we didn't really talk about it when it was happening, but I think the scene with uh Debbie Debbie Delaney, her
Mhm.
confession scene is really good. And I think she's really good in it. Um, she almost has no role in the rest of the episode, so it's hard for it to feel like it pays off because what are her interactions like? Hey, can you read my manuscript? Hey, can you read my
Just in the
manuscript?
hallway. Yeah.
That's it. We don't have
Yeah.
any other like inclination of who she is as a person. And then when we have the confession scene, she's really interesting and you care about her. But I wish. I mean, maybe if they had given her a meteor role in the beginning of the episode, we wouldn't
We
feel
would
as
know early
surprised
that
like
it
we
was
would know
her.
too
Yeah.
soon. Maybe that's why they did it. But I really liked her in this episode, so I'm a little bummed that we got so little of her. But that last scene is good. That
Yeah.
confession scene is good.
We also, I mean, we get that moment with Frank and Jessica at the loading dock, but we don't get a lot of him
Mm-mm.
either. We get some pretty broad strokes from the characters, and most of
Hmm.
them relate to Post because he's our victim.
Yeah.
So we get them only really in the context
Hmm.
of the victim, and and then Horace, where we get some outside stuff because he's,
Hmm.
the larger than life, almost the comic relief, almost.
Sure.
Because he gets farce and he gets silly little bits. He has quirks. He's the quirky one. The detective is not quirky in this.
No.
He's the quirky one.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. And I think it pays off that Debbie is the killer.
Hmm.
Um, I think it works because we get to really dig into the other characters too, even if it's something as stupid as as the woman's novel writer going to bed with Horace. Like,
Hmm.
what a dipshit idea, but it's cute. It's fun. Um, I just really appreciate the characters. I appreciate that there are such good female characters in this episode, whether it's the
Who all
ex-wife,
have
whether it's
different
the
wants.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They all have a different angle, and I'm interested in all of them. Even
Lucinda.
the men.
Yeah.
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 Um, I mean, this is funny that this is right on the back of the sudden death football episode, right?
Where it's all guys all the
Yeah, and
time.
now we're getting a setup where even knowing the glasses were in the murder room and that they're women's glasses, we know that there's such a feminine presence
But
in this
again,
episode.
we're looking at that, if you'll forgive the expression, through different lenses
Yeah,
because those glasses, even to Jessica, she didn't immediately view them as feminine glasses. This is a
maybe
different
not.
era. So looking at what the style of the 1980s really lends itself, like the audience may not have actually been intended for us to know that those were women's
Yeah,
glasses. Because
true.
there's no reason. I mean, yes, we saw Debbie quickly, but in different context.
Hmm.
Um, there's no reason to think she would have had anything to do with Post at that point.
Yeah, yeah. You
So,
know she's important though, because she shows up twice.
yes,
So you know she comes into play somehow.
yeah.
But it really is like a twist and turn when they're like, oh yeah, yeah, we're gonna give her this big monologue at the end of the episode when we give her nothing at all so far. So that's kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think it's not as clean as I want it to be, as far as
Mm.
like here's the cast of characters, here's the killer, and here's why. But
It's
it's still
another
fun.
one of those examples of it being a 48-minute show as opposed to
Hmm.
an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So if you watch some of those longer Columbos, for example, some of them are a little bit more fitted than some of
Hmm.
the shorter ones because you
Even
have a
the
little bit
first
more
episode of
time.
this show, right?
Sure.
The
A
Murder of
lot of
Sherlock
time to
Holmes.
luxuriate. And there's a few two-parters,
Hmm.
but even a lot of those two-parters, there's a distinctive mood change or setting change often in
Hmm.
them,
Yeah.
which changes the vibe considerably.
Yeah.
But you're given just a little bit more time.
The circus episode
Yeah, I was thinking of the circus episode.
with Courtney
Yeah.
Cox.
Yep. 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 Yep.
in a thankless role.
Grandfather's lodging.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
grandfather. Go back
I
to the
know
Mount
anybody
Heidi.
anybody who's not Heidi saying
Yes,
grandfather so earnestly,
truly.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What is
Who
that?
talks like this?
No one talks like that.
Nobody.
Yeah, good set of characters. Good plot devices, fun, entertaining, instantly watchable, also really good for background if you like
Hmm.
it's a good episode just to have on. Not too terribly depressing.
No,
Um, while yes, we feel bad that the book is stolen, it's not the worst thing this guy could have done
no.
because he even like the worst thing we see him do is actually try to sexually assault Debbie. And even
Yeah.
that is quick enough where it doesn't really mar the mood of the show to be
Hmm.
too much, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And I like
So,
that Debbie um Debbie is clearly a victim who had to kill to
right. She
to
is
to save herself, essentially.
very likable character.
And I like in the circumstances of someone who is literally pressing his body against someone who says no, like
Mm.
to see him. This is a terrible thing to say. Him get his just desserts, and she is going to be just fine, aside
Frankly,
from the trauma of being in that situation, right?
for a
It
show in
feels nice.
1985,
It
it feels
feels
nice
nice.
too. It
Yeah.
feels nice to know that this was 40 years ago,
Hmm.
and that was clearly the intention of the writers.
Hmm.
Um, there's a little judgment in terms of Tiffany using her sexuality to her
Uh-huh.
advantage, a
Uh-huh.
little. But even then, I think she comes off as sympathetic too.
We love Tiffany.
So, yeah, it's one of the it's not a particularly misogynistic episode, which is nice.
Yeah.
The
By the
women all
way,
have something to do and they all have different wants and
yes.
needs.
And they're not motivated necessarily by just the men around them.
The men are the meanings to the what is it? The means to an end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And what they deserve, frankly. Tiffany wants
Hmm.
to work in a male-dominated business because she deserves to. Debbie Delancey wants to get her brother's book back because he deserves to, and she deserves to also succeed
Hmm.
in what she's good because she's also apparently quite good at what she does,
Yeah.
according
Yeah.
to Jessica's notes. I love that Jessica also read the story, which I don't think she had time to do until after she knew Debbie was the killer. So then
Mm,
she took the time to still read the short
I
story
know.
and write notes.
Good for you.
That's an
She's like, I
English
care
teacher
about
right
this
there.
girl.
Alexis deserves
B
the money that
plus.
she put into this bastard's
Uh-huh.
life for her own good, and Lucinda deserves her success because she wrote a book that resonates with people, even if it's smut.
Yeah. And
So,
she maybe got to enjoy some Horace D.
which frankly, I mean, are there any? Does Horace do it for you? Are there any
No.
hot guys of Murder She Wrote in this episode?
I mean, Robert Reed is a very handsome guy.
He is a very
Um,
handsome man.
so can't deny that. I think otherwise, no. I don't
By
think
the way,
this is,
no.
and you know what? I didn't miss it either because we got some good lady
Yes.
activity in this episode.
Yes.
By the way, Tiffany looks kind of like an 80s version of Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Interesting.
Like she kind of has that kind of those wide eyes, those
Because I
wide
think
blue eyes and big brown hair.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen is an 80s version of
Well,
Tiffany
I
Amber
guess
Thiessen,
she
but I
let's say let's say a 10 years of
okay.
age difference.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
Like
All
Tiffany
right.
Amber Thiessen was a girl when this was filmed.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, but she has that
Ah,
vibe to her. Um, yeah, that's good.
yeah. I
No
mean, I think
notes except for a
well,
footnote.
except ooh, and everything that we said for the last hour.
Yeah,
Uh yeah, I think any episode that has characters that you'd like to see again is successful.
yeah.
So I'd like to see most of these characters
Me
again.
too.
And
Me
we
too.
don't, but alas, we do see some of the
Hmm.
actors again. So cool.
Cool.
Well,
That's it.
that was Footnote to Murder.
Well done.
Next week, come back and we're going to ride the bus. We've actually been
Iconic.
teasing this episode for most of our series here,
We really have.
because it's actually it is known as one of the best episodes of Murder,
I
She Wrote.
think on IMDb it is the highest rated
It
episode.
is,
Yeah.
yes. And it makes
So it
all of
has
those
a
BuzzFeed articles. Like
reputation.
it's, yes.
It has its own fan
And
art just for the episode. Yeah.
they made sure that they included
Right.
in the newspaper. But
Hmm.
yeah. Um, yeah, so that's Murder Takes a Bus. That's next week. But for now,
Woo-hoo.
we're closing our chapter on Footnote to Murder.
That's right.
Well,
Got that book.
everyone, thank you again. And because we didn't say it yet, make sure you go to Murder She Wrote Pod, POD, on Instagram. Give us some love. We're still working on the website, but we'll get that together hopefully soon. And if you are enjoying this, please throw a like, a comment, or a subscription at us. It does really
Yeah.
help our visibility.
We
So
love seeing it too.
we do.
I love getting a comment and engaging. It's so much fun.
We got our first spam yesterday. It
We
was
sure
very
did.
exciting. It was very exciting. That's how you know you've made it, folks.
It's probably an East African prince who has money he wants to give me. And all I have to do is send in my bank account information.
That's season 6.
Yeah. A
All
scam or a
right.
plot on Murder, She Wrote?
You beat
Fun
the judge.
game. Okay.
All right. My name is Victor.
I'm
I'm
petrified.
Victor Devon. Yes,
Yeah.
I never just say my name is Victor.
How
I'm Victor
strange.
Devon. I'm Victor
I'm
Devon.
petrified.
And this was Tonight
Tonight on
on
Murder, She
Murder, She
Wrote.
Wrote.
See ya.
Bye.
Now, what did you just tell me?
I just told you that Rosalind Shays is the character's name from LA Law, and she is in fact played by Diana Muldaur, which means that I was right, that Diana Muldaur is the famous LA Law elevator shaft actress all along.
Yeah, take that.